What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and right now we're going to be talking about 23 things you need to know right now, tips and tricks that's going to prepare you for Madden 23 Ultimate Team way before it comes out. Now, for many of you guys, you probably have already received the beta code from me, either through my giveaways or when I go into someone else's stream and I give it away. If you still have not received the code, right now, drop your console in the comment section. EA Sports was kind enough to bless me with more codes today, so I was giving out more codes earlier all over the place. So hopefully a few more of you guys can be able to play Madden 23 before it drops in August, all right? Because the beta goes down, I believe, June 20th. But what's going on right now in Ultimate Team, they've dropped a lot of things. I'm going to briefly go over some of the basic stuff, and it's probably going to be a little bit more than 23 things. But the first thing that I want you guys to understand is Madden 23 is set up very, very similar. All right, it's a very, very similar thing with the packs, the players. The card art looks exactly the same for the most part. A little bit of changes and stuff like that. The store, pretty similar. It looks like they're going to bring back the missions tab. So you guys need to get used to that, especially with the fact of the rookie premiere. This is the last thing that you have to do right now in 22 is get 15 tokens, and then you're well on your way to being prepared for Madden 23 because the tokens will transfer to 23, and then we'll be able to utilize the tokens to get free high overall cards early and use that for training. All right? Training is also back in Madden 23. All right? I'm just trying to go over the basic stuff. So that you guys more or less have a sense of what's happening with it. Most of the things as far as training, it looks like they're going to have cred back, so I guess the yard will be back as well, based on some of the stuff that I've seen. The tab inside of Ultimate Team in Madden 23, pretty much the same, but there's a lot of differences in abilities. So a lot of what the 23 tips and tricks is about the abilities. So it's going to probably, I'm going to go more in depth to give you a little bit more of the insight into it once they get closer to the launch. But just understand, a lot of the newer abilities are going to change Madden forever. All right, I just want you guys to understand that a lot of what we get away with right now, we will no longer be able to get away with in the new Madden. Starting with the X Factor situation. I know you guys are well aware that Escape Artist is now an X Factor. Okay, so that's also not there. They've raised the amount that it costs for Pass Lead Elite. These are huge factors that you have to know now to prepare yourself for what's going to be coming later in the game. Because if you think you're going to come out there and do the same things that you've been doing in Madden 22 currently right now, you're wrong. And that's just ultimately what it is. So I just want to make sure you guys understand, Pass Lead Elite is more, Escape Artist is now an X Factor, which is huge. But the good news is the players move according to their speed and the way that they're supposed to. So that is a huge factor that I wanted to make sure you guys understand. I'm really enjoying the beta, Madden 23. That's why, like I said, hopefully a few of you guys that drop your consoles in the comments, you will be lucky enough to win a code today. All right, now let's keep jumping into it and get more and more tips and tricks. As far as the run game, they have a goal line ability that's going to kind of bring us back to about the Madden 20 when it's like a goal line ability where you get increased blocking in the red zone. For those of you guys that don't know about, like, when we used to run stretch in Madden 20, there were abilities that helped with the run that made your O-line more OP. Well, guess what? That's back. And I think that they're giving us that because it's a little bit easier to actually run the ball, in my opinion, if you play someone that's running contains and not really playing the run in Madden 23. For instance, you can actually play a contain and the contain does what it's supposed to do right now currently with the way the game is, which means those edge rushers that are taking the broader angles to prevent you from running outside the pocket, guess what's open? The middle. So a lot of dudes that I was playing online, they're running dives, they're running, slash and all kinds of crazy runs. And I'm just trying to contain to keep them in the pocket, and they're doing whatever they want to do. But that's realistic if we're going to contain. So you're going to have to be pretty smart with the way that you utilize contains, as well as the way that you don't use them. And sometimes just use your user to go over there and prevent someone from doing something crazy, like running outside the pocket on you. But that goal line feature is really intense. It was something that I picked up on immediately, like, oh my God, the run game can actually be crazy in the red zone. So I got to let you guys know that to prepare for it. Now remember, as far as the ability points that are going to be necessary, the AP, this is not concrete yet. I'm just giving you some of the top pointers that I looked at and that really, really stood out. And it's like, yo, we have to start to know and be prepared for what's coming, because a lot of you guys think, oh yeah, I'm going to pick up where I left off in 22. No, you will not. the game plays different and the defense is a little bit different. There's a lot of new wide receiver abilities as well, similar to the deep out, deep in stuff like that. And then they also increased everything with the way that it works out on the defensive side of the ball. So defensively, they have new defenses that they actually play the outside the numbers, the inside the numbers. It's so complex, but it's not really though. Because what's going to happen is this. Because defensive zones play better, you may not need all of the extra abilities unless we find out that there's something that's really OP, which I will let you guys know about instantly. Sort of like the target passing. Those new features, I'm going to give you tutorials on that. Whether you use it or not is up to you. But my members on YouTube are going to get more insight into that because I'll be able to talk to them, you know, one-on-one with that situation. But I think the lead passing is good enough to not actually use target passing, in my opinion. But again, we'll wait to see the finished product in August, and then we'll figure it out from there. Also, with the way that they shade and stuff like that with your manual shading, you probably won't need to go too crazy with, you know, the abilities that play the inside the numbers, outside stuff, because you can shade now. And the shade actually takes away from some of the things that they want to do. Like there's abilities that'll help them to come and take away a check down. Those unstoppable check downs from 22, where a guy just turns around and if you don't have acrobat, they just catch it all the time. That's gone. That's over, bro. Dudes are going and picking the ball off and going for 6. So just make sure you guys understand that. We're going to have a very, very fun year. Not only that, we're going to be playing a lot more games also over here at GmiasWorld. So it'll be a lot of variety. With that, we'll have Madden and just so many other games because, you know, the PlayStation Premium has so many games and a lot of you guys want to see other content. So I will be giving you guys that very soon. Now, as far as the way that the defensive line plays, there's been a lot of changes to the way that the players play because they actually take the proper angle and pursue. So there are similar abilities that are going to be coming back. I didn't really go too crazy with the defensive lineman abilities, so we'll worry about that later. In addition to that, the pass rush, TJ Watt is a monster right now in MUT. So that just means that they're going to play much better with the defensive abilities. But we'll touch on that as we get closer because there's so much that I'm going over right now. Also, all these things look very, very similar as far as X factors in the lineup screen and things like that. So you'll be able to have a lot of fun mixing and matching those things as we get closer. Now, this is something that I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be a little bit PO'd about. They brought back strategy cards. Raise your hand if you didn't get a strategy card that you wanted until like May, like a year after the game came out. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's back in the game. There's a tab for it, so we have to be well prepared for that as well. Be on the lookout for how we're going to go about it, though, because a lot of you guys did it the way that I did it this year, and we're able to get it early, like September, October-ish. We're going to put together a similar program to make sure everybody is able to get strategy cards early and efficiently. All right, and the visuals tab, same thing. You get your team, your stadium, your head coach. Not sure yet how they're going to utilize John Madden, but we'll get to that pretty soon because I'm pretty sure they're going to try to involve him with a lot of different aspects of it. Special teams, specialists, and everything looks pretty much the same, so there's nothing to write home about with that. And, you know, the lineup screen pretty much looks the same. Cards look similar. Nothing is really jumping out or glaring right now, but it is a lot. So that's probably a lot of information for you to take in right now, but I'm going to be playing it a little bit more later today and give you guys back more feedback as we get closer to launch for Madden 23. So again, if you're watching it and you need a beta code and you want to actually see it for yourself, drop your console, drop a like, share it. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. You have an unbelievable day. Until next time. One love, y'all.